Okay, buds. I was scrolling through Redfin in bed on my phone last night, and I saw this property, and figured it would be a quick, easy way to just go through the numbers pretty fast. I like this one because in the description, the listing agent broke down the current rental amounts. This was especially helpful because it's not an area I've looked at a ton, so I wasn't familiar with prices, but it's still an area I'd have interest in. So the property was listed for about $350,000. It's a triplex in the Germantown area of Philadelphia. It has one unit with two bedrooms, one unit with one bedroom, and a third unit that was somewhat of a studio, but a little more than a studio apartment. It was a little more. It wasn't one bedroom, but it wasn't a full studio. So the two bedroom unit is leased for $1,000 per month. The one bedroom unit is leased for $800 per month, and the that last studio unit we talked about is leased for $675 per month. So that brings the total rental revenue currently of this property at $2,475. Now, I like the Redfin calculator and just Redfin overall, really, when it's compared to other places like Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com. But if you're more familiar with those places, go for it. This is strictly just a user interface preference that I have. So, how did I go about structuring this? From the price listed and what we previously mentioned in other videos, I estimate an all-in cash out of pocket cost to be about $35,000, right? So that's that 10% number of the list price that we mentioned. And again, I want to, emphasize that this is just a rough estimate for your research purposes. You will need to talk to a lender and get an actual estimate, when you're going to actually make an offer and see those numbers when it comes time to make a transaction. I'm using a 5% down payment because you can maybe get a small break on your interest rate when you hit that 5% down mark as compared to the minimum in an FHA loan of 3.5%. Now, this isn't anything that is set in stone or a guarantee or anything like that, but it is something to keep in mind that 5% mark may sometimes, give yourself a little break there. And for the market that we're in, I'm going to be using interest rates when I run these numbers in the high fives to the low sixes. Everything is extremely volatile right now, so it will be important to just stay aware of any market changes. Another thing I went in and changed was the homeowner's insurance. When I first looked at this, it used a $140 per month estimate. I just based off, estimates I've seen from people and, going through it myself, I just thought that was a little high. So I went in, I adjusted that down to the 115 number that you see. So just this quick look, we can see the monthly payment it's way too tight compared to the rental revenue for this to be an option for us. But I'm still going to save this property for a few reasons. One, I love that it's a triplex with a low monthly tax amount. Two, the pictures of the property gave me a sense that some minor updates could improve some of the rental prices for this property. It has a big yard space that would be a lot of help to us specifically as we have kind of this makeshift doggy daycare situation going on where we have a couple different dogs that we watch from time to time, and it would be great for them to have that big yard to go out into. uh Three, maybe prices come down, maybe interest rates come down, maybe we have more funds to use as a down payment. Just just a bunch of different factors could come into play where maybe this property looks more attractive to us. Um, but, lastly, mostly, I like collecting the data point and getting used to seeing numbers in an area that maybe I haven't really looked at a ton. Now, this last slide, I just want to point out changes I've made. You'll see I changed it to a 3.5% down payment. Redfin rounds the image to say 4%. And from there, you can see that big out of pocket change as compared to the 5% down that we used in the previous slide. Next, I updated the interest rate a little bit higher. Since we're under that 5% mark, I went in, I changed that, just adjusted it up a little bit. And lastly, the three little dots, they can take you to the section where you can update the property taxes, an HOA payment, and the PMI. And I want to point out for PMI, since we are focusing on FHA loans, when you use an FHA loan with a 5% down payment or less, your PMI monthly payment is going to be 85 bips, meaning that you come in here and you change this to 0.85%. Originally, Redfin has this as 0.75. So when you're in here and you're focused on an FHA, you want to make sure that you change that to 0.85. All right, well, I hope you guys like this video. If you have questions or want to go through a pre-approval, you can reach me at ryan.malarick@movement.com. You can find me on TikTok at Weems29, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Malarick_mortgage. All right, I'll talk to you guys.